Welcome to the shooting show. This week we follow Jason Doyle on a pest control mission, rabbiting and foxing in Ireland. Plus we bring you all the latest news from the shooting world.
So we're going out after rabbits tonight, and with the deer stalking over, it's about all I have to shoot at the moment. So I've taken the Swarovski off the 6.5 and I've put it back on the 22, and now I'm going to zero it. And method of zeroing that I use a lot is bore sighting. Now with a 22 it's not that much of an advantage because the ammunition isn't so expensive, but for the big centrefire calibers where you're paying anything up to £2 a pop for a bullet, bore sighting can be a really useful method to shorten the zeroing process and save on a couple of rounds. Now it's quite a simple process when you get used to it, but I know a lot of people struggle with it, and personally it took me a long time to perfect it. But once you get it down, you can get your rifle on paper really easily. The two most important things for successful bore sighting are having a really obvious object to aim at. So for this I have a 2-inch luminous orange dot that's really obvious to see through your bore. The other important thing is to have a really stable bed for your rifle. I'm using bags here, but anything you use that's stable is fine. You need to look through the bore and see your target through the bore, and then be able to set the rifle up so it stays that way, so you can look through your scope and adjust. Well, now we have our bore focused on our dot on the target. We can look through the scope and see where the crosshair is focused. Okay, so I can see I'm a little bit low and a little bit left. Now the thing to remember when you're adjusting the scope when you're bore sighting is it's going to be the opposite movement that it normally is when you're shooting at the target. What I mean by that, normally we put the crosshair on the target and the bullet will strike off, and we move the bullet strike to the crosshair. With this one we have our bore on the target, so that's where our bullet strike would be, so we're moving the crosshair back to the bore. So it's going to be the opposite movement that it normally is. As in, if you want to bring the crosshair down, you're going to have to adjust height up. Now, the advantage of having such a firm base is I can move the turrets and watch the crosshair moving on the target without the rifle actually moving. You can keep checking your bore just to make sure it hasn't moved. Now that looks pretty good. All that's left to do now is fire a few shots at the target and see how far off we are. We can fine tune it then. Well, that shot was pretty good. It has us within a couple of inches of our target. We just need a very slight adjustment now to be smack on. And these adjustments now will be back to the normal way. I need to come up a little bit, so I'm going to bring 4 or 5 clicks high and a couple of clicks right. The difference now is we're moving the bore to the scope again, which is the normal way of zeroing, whereas when we were bore sighting before, you're moving the scope to the bore. That's why the adjustments are the opposite, and it's probably the hardest thing of this to get your head around. But as I said, it's a really useful method of zeroing. You can do it at home in the garden. You can just bore sight, even with your centrefire, you can bore sight it if you've put a new scope on, and then when you go to the range you'll be more or less on target, or at least on paper. So we've made our adjustments now, and I'm going to shoot a group just to make sure the rifle's shooting and just to check our zero finally. I've set it so it should be inch and a half high at this distance. It's only 50 yards, So then when we go out tonight on the rabbits with the 22 subsonics, I should be able to take headshots out to 70 or 80 yards. So there's our group, not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. I'll probably bring it another 2 or 3 clicks right just to get it bang on line. But overall, rifle shooting well, so we should have no excuses tonight when we go out for some rabbits. So we're out here after rabbits, having zeroed our 22 earlier. I've just come to a stud farm for a couple of hours before dark. There's horses out in these fields, so we can't lamp here obviously with the horses, but they have no problem with us coming around for an hour or two before dark, pick off as many rabbits as we can. The 22 with the silencer and subsonics is very quiet, won't disturb the horses at all. And they'd like us to take a few rabbits out. They've been digging holes out in the fields, and it's dangerous when you've stock on the fields because they can get their feet caught in the holes, and with a horse, valuable horses, it can break their legs. Tonight I have my Bavarian out with me as well, just to give me a bit more trouble. He gets bored now that the deer stalking is over, so I bring him out on rabbits every now and then. It's good practice for him just to keep him steady, and it's nice to have a companion to hunt with me.
With this wary but oversized rabbit population, it's not long before Jason is picking them off. Methodically covering every part of the farm, Jason grows the bag slowly but steadily as the afternoon wears on. By now the light is beginning to fail, but the opportunities aren't drying up.
Well, that's the end of a reasonably successful evening. It's about as well as I hope to do around here with a 22. A lot of the fields are quite big, and we saw a lot of rabbits that were anywhere between 100 and 150 yards away. And there are a couple of other guys that shoot here, so they're quite jumpy. So to get in range of a 22 is difficult. We had a couple of nice little stalks on some rabbits and had some nice shots. I shot a couple out at 100, 110 yards. It's actually probably a little bit of overkill to bring the Swarovski rangefinder binoculars shooting rabbits with a 22, but they were incredibly helpful. The amount of 22 bullet will drop between 70 and 100 yards is significant. So having an exact range can really help you place an accurate shot. So no, good evening. We'll go home now. We'll paunch these. They'll go into the freezer, and we're going to head to another farm nearby where they have some winter barley, and we're going to try to lamp there for a couple of hours.
As well as a trusted rimfire, Jason's bringing a Browning X-Bolt topped with a spare Swarovski Z3 in case the chance arises to deal with any larger full-pine varmints. As it happens, it's not long before Charlie makes an appearance and Jason can put the centrefire to good use.
Well, we just shot 2 rabbits up at the top of this field, and we just flicked the light down to the bottom, and we have a fox sitting looking at us under the gate. It's about 200 yards at the moment, so we're just going to sneak down the garden here and see if we can get a shot at him real quick.
Switching to the centrefire, Jason draws a bead on the fox. The rising field behind gives a good backstop, but it's a tricky shot through the gate. We need our quarry to be in exactly the right spot.
That was a little bit of luck. We'd just come up to my friend John's farm here, shoot a couple of rabbits. He said to throw in the big rifle because there was a couple of foxes around. He'd seen them the last few evenings. I'd taken the scope off, the 6.5, but I had a Swarovski Z3 handy, so just stuck it on this evening and quickly zeroed, and we just shot a couple of rabbits. We'd only been out literally 3 or 4 minutes and put the lamp down the field and saw this dog fox looking out under this gate. Wasn't a shot I was particularly keen on taking with a brand new expensive gate in the way, but John was beside me holding the lamp, and it's his gate, and he wanted a fox shot, so he gave me the go ahead. And the fox just dipped down. He went straight over. So good start. We've 4 or 5 rabbits down already and a fox, and we're only out 15 or 20 minutes. So we'll carry on, see can we get a few more. We've just come out to the back end of the farm here where it's real boggy and rushy, and there's not many rabbits to be honest, but we thought we might see another fox. We've had a call for a couple of minutes there, and we've just heard what we think is a vixen barking maybe 300-400 yards away out behind us. So we're going to have a walk across and see if we can come across her. A couple of rabbits here real close to us, but we're going to leave them now because there's a good chance that we'll get another fox here, so I'm going to forget about the rabbits for the next couple of minutes.
The promised vixen is soon in sight and positively identified. A clear, safe shot is on. Jason takes a shot that is sure is decisive, despite the fox running on.
Well, unfortunately on this occasion we haven't been able to collect that fox. I shot it a little bit low and a little bit back, I think. The distance was substantial, it was over 200 yards, and she only offered a shot for a second. So I just took a quick shot off the sticks. Could see from her reaction and from the blood we found, it's a fatal shot, it's a liver shot, so she won't have gone far. We've tracked her along this bank where I shot her for 50-60 yards. She's crossed a small stream and she's gone into a big bramble bank, and we just can't get in there tonight to find her. So unfortunately we'll have to leave her. If I have time tomorrow I'll come back and have a look, but we've wasted a good bit of time tonight. It's getting late and it's getting very cold, so we're going to leave it for tonight. But it's been a pretty successful day all around. We had nice few rabbits this evening before it got dark, and then another half dozen or so tonight under the lamp, and a pair of foxes, so can't complain.
With a spare moment the next day, Jason quickly locates the fox carcass in daylight, making it a successful fox double to end our pest control mission. Jason and John sorting out the foxes there. And now, it's the Shooting Show News.
This is the Shooting Show News. New figures reveal which firearms licensing authorities are the furthest behind on applications and renewals. Essex was the worst force on record. It issued more than 5,000 Section 7 temporary permits last year. Kent issued 3,000 and Thames Valley 2,500. At the top of the charts, Cleveland and Derbyshire did not issue a single temporary permit, indicating they processed all their applications on time. The new meeting place for the shooting industry continues to grow. The Gun Quarter, which you'll find at the UK Game Fair at Stoneleigh this summer, has welcomed 2 more major gun retailers to its lineup. Premier Guns and John Bradshaw Guns will attend the show, which takes place on the 22nd to the 24th of July. Premier Guns said it would bring around 400 guns, while John Bradshaw told us to expect a host of premium brands including Blaser, Swarovski, Norma and Pulsar. Want to give your shoot some recognition? The 2016 Purdy Awards for Game and Conservation are now open. Entries are invited from any type or size of shoot within the UK. They'll be judged on the results they've achieved in improving game bird habitats and the biodiversity of their land. Ilkley Moor was the winner of the Gold Award in 2015. Follow the details on screen now to enter. If you want to support gamekeepers across the nation, now's your chance. iShoot magazine is launching a charity auction to benefit the Gamekeepers Welfare Trust, which offers keepers a range of support packages including education and housing grants, a job register and a helpline. A range of lots will be up for grabs, including sporting experiences and kit, so you can help keepers and bag a bargain at the same time. Check out more details in the next issue of iShoot magazine. And finally, a stop press report from the British Schools and Young Shots Championship, which took place at Sporting Targets on Saturday. Clay Shooting magazine editor Hugh Hopkins was there to see the winners crowned.
I didn't think I was actually going to come out with the trophy, but I'm glad I shot well in the shoot-off really. The nerves did actually get to me, but I tried to control them, but yeah, finished off alright. I'm happy that it's only my first year that I've actually shot this competition and it's paid off well.
So you'll be back every year to defend it then?
Yeah. Not too bad, had a good start, missed a few, but it's going quite well. Got good weather for it.
We've been coming since 2011. Will won the overall when it was at Churchill's. Jess won last year and I think was probably third the year before, I'm trying to forget now. So it's just great fun, it's a great day out and it's great to see all the kids being so competitive and a lot of talent out there.
Read the full report in the next issue of Clay Shooting. That was the Shooting Show News.
that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you're not a member of Basque, it's time to join now. Basque, looking after your sport, looking after you. This has been The Shooting Show.